Painkiller by Judas Priest. So your first song to me was in like this lane. Your second song to me was like in this lane. And then this song was like, whoa. It just was,
Whoa.
yes. Yes. Yeah.
Great. This is such a huge song.
1, 2, bam. 1,
Yes.
2, what? Like 1, 2.
This is a hype up song. Like, this is a
Um,
song that if you want to get hyped, like, this is a hype song.
so like hype to do what?
Just go nuts. Make it through my day.
So if Chris has a bad call at work, he's like, I'm gonna put on some Judas Priest and I'm gonna play
Painkiller.
me a painkiller.
That's right.
Okay. So this
Such a
is
great song.
your painkiller for your pain
That's right.
that you
This
may have
song
endured. Okay.
is so metal. This personifies metal.
It, yep. Absolutely. And I had shared that our show was going live, and a good friend of mine, Mr. Begeman, said, Judas Priest, 2 thumbs up. And I said, or, and did 3 thumbs down.
Oh.
I don't know what to say. It's not like, I don't think it's surprising that it's not my style, right? I'll be honest though, the lyrics seemed like, and you have sent me some Christian heavy metal in
I
the
have sent you
past.
some Christian heavy metal.
So I'll admit that I Googled whether this was like actually a Christian like band or a
Right.
Christian song, because some of the lyrics made me think like this could absolutely be. I found out it was not. But I also found out that Rob, is it Halford,
Rob Halford.
is quite public about his Christian faith
Yes, he is.
and has released 2 Christmas albums.
He has.
And I didn't have time to dive into his Christmas albums. But, when you go from my love for Christmas music, like
Yes.
the Carpenters, Merry Christmas, Darling, and think that he'd be like, Merry Christmas, Darling, like Cookie Monster. I don't know if I would enjoy that and if it'd get me into the
He
holiday
doesn't really
spirit.
do the growling too much. He doesn't growl in this. I mean, he's actually a trained opera singer, Rob Halford. He's also, he came out, let's say, I think it was the late night, and maybe right after this record or before this record came out. I can't really remember, but he did come out, and which was very, I mean, for being a heavy metal frontman, is very controversial at the time to come out. And but he just was like, whatever, I'm tired of living in secret, and I'm just coming out. I'm letting everybody know. And that was a big thing back then in the world of heavy metal.
Sure.
And Judas Priest is, when you think of Judas Priest, is one of the top legendary classic metal bands of all time. They're up there with Iron Maiden, Black Sabbath, Metallica, all the classic, the Scorpions, the classic like godfathers of heavy metal music. And they have gone through many like upgrade, different changes in their music.
Sure.
They had like in their like early 80s, it was a lot of like, it was metallic, but still heavily melodic. This record, when this came out, I don't know how to explain it, but when this record came out, in this song in particular, it blew everybody away, because this was a band that was basically been around from the 70s, and then had a very, and
Really?
okay, now remember, this is 1990, right? So they've been around since the 70s, and this was, and how you feel about the song is how we felt, in a way of like, this is so heavy, this doesn't even sound like Judas Priest. Like, this is like, sounds like one of the younger bands sounding like this. And so the fact that a band that had been around for this long, a legacy act, to sound fresh and new like this, was like, I mean,
That's impressive.
it blew everybody away. Everybody. And this song today still holds up in the world of heavy metal as like an absolute phenomenal song. Like, you have to, and it's so technically proficient and fast, and like, it's insane. It's an insane song. So, but yeah, I mean, it's like a combination of everything. He comes out, they release this. It's just like such a like a, hey, not only do you guys think we're old and kind of irrelevant at this point, because they were sort of, their career was starting to like head down. It was the 90s, and and then they released this record and like put them right back on top again, and just bam, like, just awesome.
That's amazing. I
Yes.
love.
Thank you, Chuck. I appreciate. Yeah, formed in 1969.
Wow.
I'm actually reading KK Downing's, but he was one of the guitar players in this band. Been reading his book. It's fascinating stuff. But yes, formed in 1969, and then for them to come out in 1990 with a record that sounds like this, especially this song, like blazing metal. Oh, just phenomenal. And I know it's hard because you weren't into metal, you weren't a metal fan, but if you were, I think you would have felt the same way.
Well, I can say that I am impressed with the longevity of the career
Yeah,
and
and
their
still going.
ability and open-mindedness to reinvent themselves to remain being relevant. That's impressive. So many people cannot do that
Yeah,
and do it well at least.
it's so hard. I mean, it's so incredibly difficult to do. Yes, and thank you, Chuck. 50 million albums sold, one of the greatest metal bands of all time.
That's amazing. I love Chuck's additional knowledge he can throw in
Yeah.
there.
Well,
Yes.
they're like a world band. Like there's few bands like in the world of metal that are like world like
Mhm.
accepted by all the countries. Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, like these are bands that you can go pretty much anywhere in the world and someone's wearing an Iron Maiden or Judas Priest shirt. I mean, of course, Metallica's there too,
Of course.
but these guys were even like Metallica was listening to Judas Priest and Iron Maiden to develop the sound.
The
Like
sound that they landed with.
those guys are first, they paved the way, and like they are like a world renowned band where yeah, you can see their merchandise being worn by anybody at any corner of the earth.
I don't even know, like, Metallica's logo is so, like, in my head.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to look up Judas Priest's logo because I
yeah.
don't know that I would even recognize it.
And I think you would like other Judas Priest songs. I know I gave you a hot and like really hot and heavy one here, but
This
it's
is
just such a
Ooh,
great
it's
song,
hot
and I
and
really
heavy.
wanted to get your reaction. But you would probably like some of their other songs, like "Headed on the Highway," and you've probably even heard those songs. Like probably even going to like the games and stuff like that. You've probably heard like Judas Priest songs. And didn't realize it was Judas Priest.
Probably,
Yeah,
probably.
yeah. Breaking the law. Once Amanda hears "Breaking the Law," you'll get it.
I'm gonna write that down.
Oh, the riff
Looking
salad. It's great.
Roast salad, I love it. I almost wrote salad down instead of law. I was breaking the salad.
Yeah,
I don't even like
break. Yeah.
salad.
They're up there with the AC/DC, like just bands that had legendary careers, written songs, and just paved the way.
Super impressive. I will, check out Breaking the Law because if
Much
that gets
different than
me
this.
very interested. I'm gonna do a playlist. I'm gonna do a playlist. I'm gonna commit. I'm gonna commit.
Commit. Commit to a
And
classic Priest playlist, and
there
you'll
we
hear the
go.
evolution.
I will hear it and I will see it. And to be fair, though, even though I didn't really love it, I can respect it. And I gave it 3 records.
Okay, well, I think your 3 records is a good assessment of it. I mean, it's I just I could have given you the other, and I thought about giving you other Judas Priest songs. There's so many, and I would have been like, I think you would like these, but I'm just gonna go right in for like where like I'm going in for the bullet.
Going
Just
in.
like
And you went
doing
in.
it.
You did it.
Painkiller.
You did it. But it was, it, I always can appreciate the success of somebody. So I find it fascinating when somebody, the story blows my mind even more of kind of their longevity. So I give them a ton of credit for that. Thanks for that history lesson, Chris Baglio.
You're very welcome, Amanda Shaw.
3 records
I
and
had a feeling
decorated.
that I had a feeling you were on a 2, and I'm like, I feel like I had to make a case before I heard you say 2.
You know what? Just to be fair, I'll show you. I did 3 just to show that your case did not influence. See
Oh,
the
okay.
3 little
Oh,
circles
okay.
there in the corner?
3 records,
But
3 circles.
if I would have been a 2, I would have absolutely upgraded to a 3 because you did plead your case so well.
Oh, well, thank you very much.